Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to your Sunday Night Go Extreme team training. Pamela Zimmer. I have a wonderful little training for you all this evening. Tina and Kelly and a lot of the other leaders are still en route. Who knows where they are, stuck on their way back from Cartagena after the mastermind brainstorming event that they were invited to with some of the other country leaders. So Tina Malsom asked me to do a quick little training for you all tonight. So I'm going to share my screen and get started. And let's see, I always get stuck with like my video thumbnails right where I need to click whenever I share in Canva. Okay, you guys can all see that, right? Okay, so tonight we're going to talk a little bit about belief. And I know that this is a topic that is not new. It's not something that has never been talked about before. In fact, it's probably one of those mindset topics that we hear a lot about, especially in this industry, especially in this company and on this team, because it's really, really important. So I'm going to talk about a couple areas of belief that are really, really important. So the first area, let's talk about our products, right? Okay, it looks like candy, it tastes like candy, but it's not candy. And sometimes we get stuck on this, oh my gosh, it's too good to be true. Like, is this really something that works? I know that when I first heard of this, when I first heard of our APL Go drops, I'm like, are you kidding me? A candy is going to help me, XYZ, fill in your list of symptoms. But it's true. We all know that it's true, right? Raise your hand if you have ever had that thought, like this little candy is going to fix this. And then you pop the little candy in your mouth, and candy in quotes, right? Because we can't call it candy, but we can call it quote candy. So raise your hand if you've ever had that doubt of this is a candy and it's not going to work, right? And then raise your hand, maybe raise your other hand if you've realized, oh gosh, yes, this really does work. Because we know, now that we know, especially those of us who have been here for a while, if you're brand new and this is your very first team call, first off, welcome. You've joined a really, really phenomenal team here. But if this is your first introduction to these drops and you're still super brand new and someone just said, hey, you got to do this, and you're like, okay, sign me up. How do I do it? What do I do? You're probably a little mind blown. Like, these little things really are super, super powerful. So has this been any of you where you've given some drops to people? Maybe you've given samples. Maybe you've just flat out sold a box of drops to someone and you're like, please work, please work, please work, please work, please work, please work. Gosh, these people, they can't sleep, and I gave them relax, and just please let them have the best night of sleep ever. Have you ever done that? I know I have. I've like prayed and wished and crossed my fingers and all the things to hope that these drops work. And what happens? Do they always work? 99.9% of the time, I will say that yes, the drops work. And it's that 0.1% of time where it just takes a little while, because we know that the samples aren't there to fix the problem. There's no magic pill, right? The samples are there so that we get a taste, we get an idea of how they work, of what they're like, of all the different flavors and everything, and how they just dissolve in your mouth. We know that really, if you want to show someone that these little candy drops work so that they have belief in them, they need to be on them for 30, 60, 90 days, right? Consistently. But so many times I've been like, please work, please work, please work. And then of course, the very next day I get a message, oh my gosh, that was the best sleep ever, or whatever, or my blood sugar went down, or my knee didn't hurt so bad, or I didn't have as much anxiety, or whatever it is. So how about we turn this, please work, because I know I'm not the only one that is ever doubting that these drops work. How about we turn this into having so much confidence that I know these work. I know these work. Believe in the products. We have so much science and medical backing in terms of the formulations in these botanicals. They're not just willy-nilly put together. There's thought and intention behind every single ingredient that goes into each formulation of each drop. So we can stand confident on that, and we can be like this, modern day superhero. It's not a magic pill. There's no such thing, but let's have confidence and have belief that I know these are going to work. Because when we come from a posture of knowing, it's going to help the person that we're talking to have that belief also, because they're in that very initial stage of, oh my gosh, she's giving me a candy, and this candy is supposed to fix XYZ. But if you come from this posture of, I know these are going to work, I believe in them, and I believe in them because we have all of these amazing testimonials, right? Don't take it from me. If you don't know, if you don't have that belief in the products yet by yourself, just take a look at the thousands of testimonials in our testimonial group. We have a new one for beauty, the skincare, and we have one that's over 5,000 members on the drops. So don't take my word for it. Don't take anyone else's word for it, especially if you're new to this company, welcome, and take a look at those testimonials, because that's proof that these little drops work. It's proof that you can believe in. So that's number one, belief in the products. Number two, we've talked about this a lot too, belief in the company, right? And this is a slide that I screenshotted from, I think, one of Sergi's last webinars. But we have everything that we need in this company, in the industry. We have management, we have products, we have systems, we have events, we have opportunities, we have trainings, we have all the puzzle pieces, right? We know that we have the top paying compensation plan of 63% compared to the average in the industry of 30 to 35%. We know that. That's a fact. We can stand confident on that fact. So it's something to help us believe that we have the best company. But let's talk about belief in terms of not all of these things, but I don't know why it keeps going backwards. But belief in the company, because APL Go is more than just a business. Yes, it's a business where we can earn the most because we have the highest paying compensation plan. We're in 65 plus different countries. We're 11 years old and we've never changed formulations in our products. That's another thing that we can stand on and have belief in our product, that those formulations have never changed. But what about the things that not only corporate does for us up here? This was just recently our leaders on their way back from Colombia, Cartagena. These are our leaders over here. They were invited to a brainstorming mastermind. And these are some of the other top country leaders as well. So Sergi is so intentional about what he's providing. He's not just providing an opportunity for us to go make an extra dollar here and there by selling a really cool product. He's helping us grow our minds. So this picture right here, I love it because it's solving something. It's solving a puzzle. It's solving a challenge blindfolded. I would really love to know what it is that they're trying to do in that picture. I have no idea. And hopefully someone will tell us that when they finally get back from Cartagena. But it's more than just, here's a training on a product, go sell the product. Here's a training on how to enroll an associate, go enroll an associate. This is mindset work. Again, this is something that you don't get everywhere. And I know a lot of us have heard the phrase that network marketing is personal development that happens to have a product wrapped around with it. That's what this is right here. We're more than just a business. We're mindset, we're personal development, we're character building, we're brainstorming, masterminding, we're think tanking. That's what he's doing right here. And this is our team. These are our leaders and they get to go on events. This is all of our team that got to get together in Phoenix at Tina and Kelly's house. It's not just what Sergi's doing on a corporate level, but it's what Tina and Kelly are doing for us on a team level. This was our corporate director leadership retreat in Scottsdale. And if you're on our cocktail party Friday, we're going to have a little recap of that. So mark your calendar for that. That's this Friday, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. Maybe bring a margarita. But this is our team, right? We're more than just a business. I screenshotted this from someone's video post, and it really is true. It's more than a product. It's more than just making $1. It's more than making $1,000. It's a community. It's a family. It's team. It's training. It's mindset. It's personal development. So it really is the best company to be a part of. So it's something that we can believe in, believe that we have the best company. So why am I showing a picture of a cul-de-sac? This is actually Foster City, California, where I grew up. And this is the actual street that I grew up on. And this is my house right there, this little one right there under the arrow. And I was so surprised that today I actually found it. I just Googled aerial view of Foster City. This is Beaufin Street. I used to joke that I'm just a girl from a cul-de-sac. I don't know what I'm doing here in network marketing. I don't know what I'm doing on leadership. I don't know what it's like to be a leader. And I used to joke about that because I'm just a girl from a cul-de-sac, meaning if I can do it, so can you, right? If I can show up, learn the system, do the work, stay plugged in, stay close to the fire, meaning show up to calls or watch the replay. I know there's lots of you that aren't on tonight because you have prior family commitments. I get it. Watch the replays. We have all the tools that we need here in this company, in this team, belief in this team. So if I can do it, if I'm just a girl from 360 Beaufin Street in Foster City, California, 94404, can't believe I totally remember that, but this literally is the cul-de-sac I grew up on. I'm just a girl who grew up on a cul-de-sac. If I can do it, so can you. Have belief in yourself. First, belief in the product. Second, belief in the company. And third, belief in yourself. And I'm going to end my little training with a story. I actually heard this story at church this morning, and it was super, super fitting. Do you all remember having TV dinners? Raise your hand if you used to eat TV dinners. Like, I don't, Swanson, whatever, Hungry Man, Lean Cuisine, whatever, you know, like there's hundreds of different TV dinners right now. But I remember sitting in front of the TV. It was Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy or, you know, Brady Bunch or whatever it was, whatever show was on that my parents were watching. And we had these little metal TV trays and we'd have a TV dinner. Well, I want to tell you a story. And again, it's a story that I heard in church this morning, and it was totally fitting because it goes along the theme of belief. So back in 1953, there was a salesman named Jerry Thomas, and he worked for Swanson, who at the time was a frozen turkey company. And he had the task of selling all of these turkeys in his region. Like, all the salesmen were tasked with selling as many turkeys as they could in their little region. And these frozen turkeys were on a train, and the refrigeration car on this train only worked if the train was moving. Well, this gentleman, Jerry Thomas, got through his region, finished selling all of his turkeys, and realized that there were still 260 tons of frozen turkeys on this train. What in the world do you do with 260 tons of frozen turkey? Now, again, they're frozen, so they have to be in this refrigerated car, which only runs, the refrigeration only works if the train is moving. So he had the train conductor go back and forth from Nebraska to the East Coast, Nebraska to the East Coast, until he figured out the solution. So here's what happened. He recalled that flying on American Airlines, you get dinners on these aluminum trays. So he's like, I have an idea. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this frozen turkey. We're going to slice it up. We're going to put it in some aluminum trays. We're going to add some mashed potatoes, some peas, some gravy, some cornbread stuffing, and we're going to sell them as TV dinners. He did that with 260 tons of frozen turkey. They sold out. They've made millions. They've sold tens of millions of TV dinners, and they are known for inventing this I don't want to say phenomenon, but pretty much like a new idea, right? He had a problem and he wasn't going to just walk away and say, that's it, I quit, I fail. Like the 260 turkeys, tons of turkeys are going to go bad and go to waste. No, he thought about it. He thought about it. He thought about it. He came to a solution, and it changed. It revolutionized the way America eats dinner sometimes, right? So I share this story with you because what if we were in this situation, and not to say we had 260 pounds of or tons of frozen turkey. I can't even wrap my mind around how many turkeys that actually is, right? But let's just say we have like, I don't know, 6,000 boxes of drops in our stash, in our inventory, or we have, whatever it is, fill in the blank for you that you need to get rid of, or you need to move, or you need to generate something, whether it's income or revenue or associates or new customers or sales or selling off your inventory, whatever that X problem is, don't give up on it. Believe that we have the best product, believe that we have the best company, and believe in yourself, and go sell some TV dinners. So that's all I have for you. So I'm going to stop my share. That's all I have for you for my little training. And if anyone has any questions about that, happy to chat. But I also want to make sure that we give Kevin some time, because I believe that he's on. There he is. I see him. Okay. Kevin, I'm going to make you a co-host also, because I believe that Kevin from Rapid Funnel has another fun little Rapid Funnel training for us. Yes?
I do. Pamela, thank you so much. And what an incredible training that is inspiring, and what a cool story. I've actually never heard that story. But that just shows the power of the mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
Be able to make a decision and say, hey, I think this will work, and then going for it, right? Not just having the idea, but going for it and making it happen. So what a cool training. That was amazing.
Cool.
I appreciate that. It's great to be with the APL Go family. Yay. Happy Sunday for those of you that are watching this live, and excited to be with you. It looked like the retreat last week was absolutely amazing. I have to be honest, I was jealous. I was not there. Those of you that were there, congratulations. And I'm sure that you made incredible memories. And I can only imagine, like, as cool as Tina and Kelly are and as personally developed, I can only imagine how good of a time it is just to hang out with them and with the leadership team. That's incredible. What an opportunity. So anyway, I'm excited about today's short training on one of my favorite features. And you hear me say this almost every week. I always mention one of my favorite features. I don't always mention that, but most of the time I do, because I love so many of the different features in this application, right? That's why I'm a passionate trainer, is because I use this all of the time. And I think this particular feature, when it's used to its fullest capacity, is super cool. It is so cool what you can do with the tasks feature. Sounds simple, right? It's tasks. Well, it can be a lot better than just tasks. And so I'm excited to talk to you about the task feature, how you can use it in ways that you may or may not have ever taken advantage of, or even realized that you could. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Disciplined, organized, and ready to follow up is what you can be when you use the task feature. And again, I use it for everything. So the difficulties in our business that we're going to address today using the APL Go application, we're going to talk about the solution next. But the difficulties that we're faced with is that we need a fast and simple to-do list, but it doesn't need to be something complicated. I mean, how many of us are willing to admit that we either currently or formerly used to have all of our to-do items all over the place? Can I get an amen, right? We had, and I say we, I'm not going to put you in the bucket with me, all right? But I myself have had sticky notes, Excel spreadsheets, task managers on my computer, task managers on my phone and tablet device, notepad and pen, journals, scratch pads, notes on the back of business cards or little pieces of paper throughout my car where I wrote down some notes, multiple notepads. Like I had stuff everywhere. And honestly, that is not a very efficient way to build our business, right? We need to use one system if we really want to be organized, and it needs to be able to do everything that we need it to do, especially business wise. Now, if you're a notepad and a pen person, listen, I am as well. So there's perfect use for that. If you want to, before you go to bed at night, write down all the things that you hope to accomplish tomorrow and prioritize those and plan your day ahead. I think that's amazing. But when it comes to actually putting it into a system that you can use reminders, by the way, a notepad and a pen will never reach out to you at a certain day and a time and get your attention. That's one of the downfalls of pen and paper. So if you use pen and paper, I think that's excellent. But what I would encourage you to do is to double up. So if you write down a business list that you need for your APL Go business and you jot it all out, take time to use those and create tasks in your application, because then it can remind you a certain day, certain time. And you also can click a button and add it to your calendar. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm already talking about the solution because I'm excited about it. But we need a fast and simple to-do list, and it doesn't need to be complicated, but oftentimes it is if we don't use something like this application. And a lot of tasks, but not all of them, are actually associated with a person. So doesn't it make sense if we have a task and it's tied to, let's say, a prospect, doesn't it make sense to have that attached to their contact record? So when you go to the task, like let's say it's a reminder to email somebody something. Maybe you're one of the people that like to wish people happy birthdays. Okay. Maybe you add your prospects' birthday as a task to remind them to wish them happy birthday. But doesn't it make sense if it pops up and says, hey, it's Susie's birthday today? Doesn't it make sense that you can just click on Susie and send an email, or click on Susie and make a phone call, or click on Susie in that task, in that to-do item, and send a text message? That's so much easier than just a reminder without it being attached to a person. So there is a more efficient way to do this if you have a task that's associated with a person. Now, some tasks are not. For example, like Pamela mentioned earlier, that some people will miss a call like this because they have a family commitment, right? Maybe you're traveling, maybe you're on vacation, maybe you're whatever. My wife and I just got back to the house from a wedding. We were gone this weekend, right? So maybe it's a reminder to watch a replay of a training call, or to register for a conference, or what have you. That's not tied to a particular prospect or particular person, but those are still tasks and to-do items for you. And you don't want multiple places for tasks and to-do items. You don't want it to be all over the place, because guess where your brain is going to be? All over the place, right? You want one system that you can use to take up all of your tasks in, and to remind you, and again, to push it to your calendar, which is awesome. And that is the solution. It's one central and fast place to create a task for everything that you're doing. It's awesome to be able to see things that you're behind on, like tasks that you haven't completed yet that you should have, tasks that are due today, and then tasks that you have completed, all in one application, which is really cool. And then again, being able to click a button and add it to your calendar, that's awesome. Because let's say that you have, if you time block, which I encourage you to do, I think it's one of the best practices you can do in any profession, but especially in this profession and with this business, I think it's very important to time block. Now, what I mean by that, set a block of time on your calendar for prospecting phone calls. You know why? Because you will be in the zone. Instead of making prospecting phone calls throughout the day, which is totally fine, add a sliver of time, a block, 30 minutes, an hour, whatever you've got in your calendar, where you literally are just in the zone in follow-up mode or in exposure mode, right? It helps you get in a rhythm. And that's really what you want. The hardest phone call is the first one. So if you're going to make 30 calls, look, the hardest one is number one. If you knock that out, the other 29, I don't want to say they're easy, but they're way easier than the first one. It's like we'll procrastinate and put off. Like, we know we need to make phone calls, and what do? We go, oh, I need to turn the dishes around. Oh, I need to turn the laundry. Oh, look at that. Garbage needs to go out. I swear. Let me go handle that. And next thing you know, we've procrastinated on that first call. If we need a calendar time where we commit to ourselves and to our families and to our coworkers in the business, and quite honestly, to our prospects, because there's a lot more in it for them than there ever is for you. Like, you can change somebody's health with your products. That's more important to them than it is for you to get a commission, right? You can change somebody's life in this business. It's more important for them than it is for you to just get paid override compensation, right? You are in the business of changing lives. My point is, dedicate some time, put it in your calendar, and you can do that. You can say, hey, I'm going to follow up with this prospect this day, this time, and add it to your calendar, which is really neat. So you'll see a task in your phone app, and you'll see an actual calendar entry on your calendar, which is awesome. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to do a quick spin of the application so I can show you. Let me see if I can make my other account. Pamela, I may need your help. I don't know if I have the ability to add my other login as a co-host. Let's see here. I don't know if I can. Let me click
I'm
stop
looking
share
for
here.
you over here. I don't see your, is it, oh, here you are. There you
Oh,
go.
it must have
You're in
worked.
twice,
There we go.
That should do it.
Yep, you're in twice.
Perfect. Thank you. You got it. All right. So right here on the home screen, automatically you're going to see today's tasks. Now, obviously this is a demo account and I don't have any tasks that are due today, but right front and center, it's really nice to see what do you need to do today, right? So if you check your application first thing in the morning, which you should, right? I love to check the activity log. It's another training for another day, but I like to see what prospects were doing while I was sleeping, right? Who's clicked on links, who's opened emails, who's watched a video, who's taken action, because obviously those are going to be toward the top of my follow-up list for the day, or people who have looked at information over the last 24 hours. But your task, this is a clickable button, by the way. So if you click on that, it's going to take you straight here to your task list. So this will show all of your tasks. If you scroll over here to this column of past due, it will show you the tasks that you had due a particular date that you're behind on. So if you had something due yesterday, last week, last month, it would show up here. And then if you toggle over here to completed, it will show you all the tasks that you've completed. Now we're gonna look at this feature, but first and foremost, we have the ability to add a task right here from this feature. So if we're not going to tie it to a particular prospect, we can go ahead and add a task right now. So let's say it's going to be, I'm going out of town next weekend. I'm going on vacation and I know I'm going to miss a training call, but I don't want to miss it, right? I want to go back and watch it. Well, here's what I can do. At the top, I can set a task to replay APL Go training call. All right. So I don't really need a description. That's pretty self-explanatory, but if I wanted to write some more details on a particular task, I have the ability to do that. Now I'm going to set the date and the time. So if I know I'm gone on Sunday, all right, then I'm going to say that I want to watch the replay on let's say the 8th, right? I'm going to be gone on the 7th. There's going to be a training call. I'm going to miss it. I'm going to watch it on the 8th. And I'm going to set a time because let's just say that I go to work at 8 o'clock and I'm going to listen to the replay on the way to work. All right. So I can set the time 7:30 a.m. on Monday the 8th, and I'm going to hit save. And then here's the cool spot. I can add this to my calendar when I check that box. Now it's going to ask me which calendar. I have a lot of calendars, as you can see. I have a lot, one for each business and family calendars and all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to go to personal miscellaneous events and I'm going to say just once. That's my calendar. So if you only use one calendar on your phone, that's the one that's going to select. If you have multiple, you get to choose. Like if you have an APL Go calendar and a family calendar, that kind of stuff, then you can choose which one. And then you click the save button. And that is going to create a task, not only here in the application, it's also going to save on your calendar. So if I go to current now, it's not due yet, it's due the 8th, but that is a current task, right? So this entire list, you would see all of your tasks in order of when they're actually due. And then if I missed it, again, it would be in the past due section the next day. It would show that I have passed that and I need to actually get it done. Now, if we go to the home screen, and by the way, I will show you, if we do add a task and you want to add a person, you can select a contact here at the top. That's not how I do this. How I do this is going straight to somebody's contact record. So let me go to contacts. We're going to look at Micah. Okay. So if I click on Micah, it's going to open up his contact record. And right here, you see the tasks button. So if I need to do something with Micah, I'm going to click on tasks, and then I'm going to click the add follow-up task button. And it looks very similar. It automatically titles it follow up with Micah. Why? Because that's going to be the bulk of your tasks if you're prospecting people. You're not going to have 27 notifications or tasks to watch a replay of a conference call. You're going to have one every now and again, right? But here, you're following up with prospects all the time if you're serious about your business. So it's automatically titled Follow Up with Micah. I can click on that and change it if I want to. I can make a follow-up note. I can say, back in town from the Philippines on the 15th, right? So it's going to remind me why I'm following up with them. I'm going to add the date and the time the way that you saw earlier by clicking that, choosing a time on the calendar. It can be just a day, or it could be a specific time. If you want to add the time specifically, you can. If you just want it to be due on a certain day, you can click the date. And then once again, if you want to add it to your calendar, you can check that box. If you don't have to, right? And then click the save button and it will add that task, which is amazing because like I said, it will actually show up on your calendar if you want it to, which makes life so simple for me when it comes to prospecting. And I enjoy that feature because I add things to my calendar all the time because the calendar is my boss, right? In APL Go, you don't have a boss, but you do if you want to actually make progress. That boss is yourself. And the best way to get yourself to do something for somebody like me is to put it in my calendar. What gets calendared gets done. If I don't put it in my calendar, it might get done. But if I put a time block in there, if I add a follow-up on my calendar, if I add a reminder, right, these are the things that are going to get done. And so I encourage you to use that feature of the application. You'll fall in love with it, get your team to use it. And once again, I also encourage you that you do all of your business related task management in the application because you don't want it all over the place. For some reason, if you have a task manager you love for your APL Go business and it's not the application, I think that would be crazy because you can tie this to your prospect's contact record. But the principle still applies. Like just use one system. Use one. I promise you, your life is going to be so much better that way. And Lord forbid, if you were ever lose your phone, how cool is it to know that you can go to your closest phone company, buy a phone, download the application, log in, and all of your contacts, all of your to-do list, everything will be right there on your phone just by getting a new one, right? That is cool because I lost a notebook one time that had all of my prospects in it. And I felt like I was out of business for a week. It was horrible until I finally found it. And it was like, oh, thank you, God. Literally, thank you, Lord, for helping me find my notebook. I don't have to worry about that anymore. It's all on my phone. If I lose my phone, I'm going to be really mad, but I can go buy another phone and all of my contacts, all the information will be right there ready for me to take it to the next level. All right. So the challenge is to identify income producing activity, which is the lead measure, right? That is what drives our business is income producing activities. Identify some income producing activities that you can do with 3 prospects and set them up as tasks to be completed in the application. Because once you use this feature, you're going to learn it. I mean, I know you went through the slides today, but when you really use it and you add it to a contact and you add the date and you click a button and you add it to your calendar, you're going to fall in love with it and it's going to make a lot of sense. So apply the information today. If you accept the challenge, we want to hear from you in the chat that you're going to identify 3 income producing activity things that you can do and add that as tasks in your application in the next 24 hours, preferably tonight, if you're able to. And if you're watching this on replay, then let the person know that brought you the amazing opportunity with APL Go, send them a message and let them know that you are accepting this challenge. And congratulations to all of you who are doing so. So the next training that we have is going to be on the broadcast email feature, which is a feature that you have to unlock. It's a feature that is awesome. And I'm going to show you how to get more people into email campaigns, which is going to be a lot of fun, and how to use the label feature, which is awesome. And we're going to talk real life application, like how can you use this to build your business? How can your team use this to build their business? So make sure you get your team on with you next week, and we will look forward to seeing you there. So Pamela, thank you so much. I appreciate you and your wonderful training, and thanks for having me on, and I will turn it back over to you.
Oh, as always, thank you so much, Kevin. I love learning all these little tips and tricks. There's so many little buttons and features in Rapid Funnel. So it's nice to have you kind of walk us through each one of them. And that task thing, I'm definitely like a Post-it, notepad, this over here. So I'm going to try to refocus my brain and do it all in my Rapid Funnel app. So thank you.
There you go. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And you'll enjoy it once you knock it out. It will be new. But I promise you, once you get into that routine, you're going to be like, wow, I'm never going back ever.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you. All right,
Kevin, I got a
team.
question.
Sorry, Kevin, I got a question for you before you go.
Sure.
I really love the idea of having everything in one app, and I can see the power of that. Is there any chance that Rapid Funnel would develop a system similar to Calendly, where we can send people a link so they can book into our schedule? Because then we could associate that into our contact list even before they book with us, and then confirm that they book, and all of that would be all captured in their profile.
Yeah. So, I mean, we have a Calendly integration. Is that what you
Yeah,
mean?
but that's no, I mean like the Calendly integration. Does that associate the contact and the appointment and keep that all together in their profile?
Not in their profile.
No. So like the task exists in their profile, right?
Correct.
So and any bookings we put in Rapid Funnel exist in their profile.
Right.
Right. So it'd be kind of cool if we had some sort of invitation website we can send to people, say, hey, book a time with me at your convenience, your 15, 20 minutes or half an hour. And then when they accept it, that gets populated already back into your Rapid Funnel with a nice little reminder. And
That would be cool. That would be cool. So the way that I do it, I have pre-written, not pre-written, what do you want to call it? Certain meetings that I've added to the personal resources side of the application for my booking links. So it's like a 15-minute call, a 30-minute Zoom, a 1-hour Zoom. So I can control which invitation I'm giving somebody, right? And then I can go to their contact record, click send resource, choose the personal resource, check my Calendly, the type of meeting I want to do, and hit send. And it will show that in the activity log that I sent them that link. Now, if they click that link, it'll still be added to my calendar. I'll still get a notification. It just won't be through Rapid Funnel.
right.
That makes
And,
sense.
It makes total sense.
So that would probably be the if I'm understanding what you're asking, that would probably be the closest thing to what you're talking about.
Okay. I'll send a request to development maybe for something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
I can send you even a feature request form that goes straight to the dev team.
That would be great.
So if you want to put in your email address on here,
Yep.
In the chat, I'll send that to you as soon as I hang up.
That's awesome. I love the collaboration.
Yes.
So
Thank you.
cool. Awesome. Quick little announcement for the team. Tuesday, we have our opportunity call, and some of you may have heard or seen a little drip of our cruise promotion being opened back up. May 1st through July 31st. They're still ironing out all the details. So I'm not going to share that with you tonight, but Tina and Kelly are going to talk about it in a little bit more detail on Tuesday night's presentation. So make sure that you're on that call as well. And then Friday night is our first Friday virtual cocktail party. That's again, 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern, Rockstar Zoom. It's Cinco de Mayo. So if you want to come with your margarita or beer or water or tea or whatever your beverage of choice is, come join us, because we're going to do a little recap from our corporate director leadership retreat in Scottsdale, which was amazing. So that's all I have for you all tonight. Have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday, a good week, and go get those tasks in Rapid Funnel. Show that you're going to accept that challenge, and let's go believe in our drops, in our company, and ourselves. And let's go up to the stars.
And have a
Thanks
couple
for
more
stopping
people join us
Pamela.
on the group.
Yeah.
Thanks, Pamela. Great
Thanks,
training.
everyone.
Night, y'all.
Thanks, Pamela.
Bye,
Thanks,
everyone.
Pamela.
Good night.
Night, everyone.
Night,